Hey there YouTube, Doc's Motorcycle Service. Rawr, 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 rawr. Welcome back to the garage. So today we are going to talk about windscreens, motorcycle windscreens. And some people call them a windshield, so don't get all icky with me if you call it one thing and I call it another. And the purpose of the video is to help you choose the right windscreen, windshield for you. A windshield or a windscreen on a motorcycle is one of the most basic things that you can do to make your motorcycle custom for you. By the way, check out the Facebook page, getting some likes over there, getting some activity over there. Swing by, answer a question, ask a question. And while I'm talking about questions, I get a lot of private messages from people who are too afraid to put their questions out there in the public domain because they're afraid of being ridiculed. Listen, I'm not going to tolerate it on my YouTube site, and I'm not going to tolerate it at the Facebook site. But keep in mind, you having a question, there may be 300 other people out there who have the same question, but are afraid to ask it just like you are. So ask it in public so other people can see my reply and other people's reply on your question, which will help them. So keep in mind, there's no such thing as a stupid question. That sounds like a cliche. It is a cliche, but it's not. I did not come out of the womb possessing all this knowledge. I had to ask people. I had to read books. I had to do internet research. I had to work on things. I had to break on things. I had to learn to fix things. Anyway, done preaching. Have a question? Ask the question. Windscreens, windshield, one of the simplest things that you can do to your motorcycle to make it more comfortable for you. Well, you may say to yourself, how is a windshield made more comfortable for me? Well, believe it or not, there's a lot of things that go into it. And one of the things that we're going to look at today is how to choose the proper height of the windshield or the windscreen. And we're going to talk about that, and then we're going to talk about some of the safety aspects of it. Matter of fact, let's talk about some of the safety aspects of it right now so I don't forget. Your windscreen does several things. One, it blocks the wind off of your face and your body. Two, it blocks debris, grass clippings, sand, dirt, leaves being blown off of the landscaping trucks as they go down the road, the topsoil, the decorative bark that you put around your trees that may blow off of something that's being transported, a cement truck, a rock truck, a gravel truck. Your windscreen is going to protect you from these objects coming at you. If you've ever been hit by a bug in the chest doing 80 miles an hour, you'll appreciate the fact that you'll have something up front there that may deflect that or stop that from striking you. But there's another side of it too. You see a lot of people with tinted windshields, and you know they accentuate the motorcycle's appearance really well. But at the same time, riding at night with a tinted screen, whatever that screen's covering, let me tell you something, you're going to have a difficult time seeing right there in front of you. If you don't believe me, borrow somebody's bike that's got a tinted windscreen on and take it for a ride at night with nobody else on the traffic but you. And another safety aspect, if it's too high, you'll get a glare back. And because the windshield is normally concave, you're going to get a reflection at night from if it's in your line of sight, and we're going to talk about that, from the vehicles coming at you and the vehicles coming up behind you. And if you happen to wear prescription glasses and sun contacts, that glare can be multiplied by 2. You get a glare from oncoming traffic coming up behind you, and then on top of that, it's magnified by your prescription glasses or your contacts. So the reason that you see so many windscreens for sale on the Facebook pages that are used and marketplace that are used is because people bought them thinking that they had the correct windscreen, and then they tried it and it didn't work. The proper windscreen should top out right at your line of sight. And for example, I'm going to use this one here from Clockworks, and I'm looking right at the camera. Your vision should be right over the top of that. You should be able to see my eyes. I'm looking in the viewfinder here, but you should just start to see my eyes right there. Your line of sight should be right over the top center edge of your windscreen, and I'm going to show you how to figure that out. Extensive research has determined that the easiest way to get the proper windscreen height for you, not for Bobby down the street or Jimbo on the other side of the county, but for you. And keep in mind, this is for you on your bike, at your bike's height, at your seat's lowness, at the adjustment to the suspension on your bike, because every bike is different. For example, this 2013 Ultra Classic that we have out here today, the windscreen was set up with the OEM seat on it. Well, the OEM seat is still on the motorcycle, but it was repadded and cut to drop the rider about 2 inches. So if the windscreen is normally like right here at your line of sight, now for the rider it's up here and he's having to look through it. Now that might not be bad. Another safety thing here, you may want 2 windshields. You may want a summer windshield and you may want a winter windshield. All right, I'm telling you, it's all about what you want. So I'm going to show you how to determine the proper height for you, and then we'll come back and we'll talk about it a little bit more. We got the motorcycle in the driveway, and you're going to need 3 things is nice. A center stand jack or a scissor jack to jack it up is nice. The John jack. If you've been keeping up with the videos, you know what I'm talking about. I'll put a picture of it up here. You're going to need a target. In this case, I'm using a red Solo cup. And you're going to need a tape measure. And what we're going to do is we're going to measure out, oh, and I guess 4 things. A really level surface. More level to the better. And what you're going to do is you're going to take this tape measure and you're going to mark off 50 feet from the front of your wheel where it touches the ground, straight out in front of the motorcycle. And when you get to that 50-foot mark, you're going to put up a target. I chose a red Solo cup because it's an easy target. You want it directly in front of your bike. Now, I'm going to go ahead and get that set up. We're going to move outside and we're going to talk about this a little bit more, and then I'm going to try my best with the camera on the bike to let you see what I see. In any case, if I can't make that happen, the theory is that once you have your target set 50 feet in front of the motorcycle, you get on the motorcycle, you get comfortable, you get your hands on the bars, and you're looking down at the tank. You're seated in it just right, okay? You're not standing up on the motorcycle. You're on the motorcycle with your feet on the ground, supporting it with your feet, settled into the seat where you normally ride at. You look down to the tank, and you just naturally bring your head up. And when you bring your head up to that natural riding position, and you look straight through your windshield, or in some cases below your windshield, or in some cases right at your windshield, your eye should settle on that target. And where your eyesight passes to this target, like right here. Let's see if I can do this. Your eyesight should travel just above the windscreen. When you look at the cup 50 feet in front of you, that's what you should see. Right there, the cup, right at the lip of the windscreen. I'll explain it again. Target, whatever you want it to be, 50 feet in front of your motorcycle on a nice level surface. Naturally sitting on the bike stood up straight, look down at the tank, naturally raise your eyes up to the target. And where your eyes either pass above us, in this case, if your eyesight traveled above the windscreen would not be tall enough for you. If your field of vision to the target passed through the windscreen, then your windscreen is too tall. In most instances, it needs to travel right there. Settled in on the bike. Feet are flat where they normally would be. We got the jack just for stability for another video that we're going to shoot here in a little bit. But sitting here, settled in, got your head down, raise your head up naturally. Right there. So you can see, and I'm using a camera, so it's not actually me, but that's how you basically want to do it. And that target should come in right at the top of the windscreen. If it's down here, and you can see the target right there, in theory, you would want this part of the windshield to either be cut down to there or by a lower windscreen. If you raised your head up here and you can see the targets there, you need about that much added to your windscreen. So you would want to get a taller one. So there you go. Get your tape measure, get you a target, measure it out, set your target up, get on your bike, head down, natural, bam, right there she should go. So there's been a lot of discussion about proper windscreen height, but I can tell you this. Me riding that motorcycle with that windscreen right there, and I believe that's a 10-inch windscreen, which gets measured from the bottom, the lowest most point that you can see the windshield or the windscreen before it disappears into the fairing, to the top most portion. I believe that's a 10-inch. So I can tell you that riding down the road with that on, the wind sort of strikes me around my forehead. All right. So you got to figure if that's where, if this is where the wind's hitting you at now, it might be about right for you. All right. But another safety precaution is a lower windshield looks cool. But guess what? If the air is striking you down here, then anything that comes at you is going to strike you in this area. Grass clippings, sand, bugs, rocks, rain. I don't know how fast some of you guys ride, but if you've ever been doing 70 miles an hour in a rainstorm, whoo, them water drops hurt. They sting. Or as a friend of mine used to say, they smart you. They smart you pretty good. So my suggestion is maybe have 2 windscreens, depending on how often you ride. I've said it before. I'll put 15,000 miles a year on a motorcycle. Might want to have a winter, taller windscreen. Might want to have a shorter, cooler windscreen for the summertime. Just depends on about where you ride at. And remember this, it's your motorcycle. You can do with it whatever you want to do. The hell with what other people think about your motorcycle. They didn't pay for it. They're not doing the maintenance on it. They're not riding. Tell them to go. Yeah. So, it's easy to do. And in the next video, we're going to show you how to change it out. Very simple. Like I said before, Changing the windscreen on a motorcycle is one of the most simplest things that you can do to make it customized for you. Thanks for coming by the garage. Please remember to subscribe. That way you can see the next video. And keep an eye out for the advertisements. Let them play out a little bit if you can sometimes. Don't get a whole lot of money from YouTube for doing this, but remember, if it's a 5-minute job, it takes me about 30 minutes to shoot it, probably another 30 or 45 minutes to edit it, and then render it and put it up for you. So watching the advertisements is a small price to pay for the information that you receive here, which is free to you. And it helps me buy some other stuff around the shop, a new tool, new piece of chrome, something to swap out on the bike. As always, thanks for coming by the garage. Again, remember to subscribe and like the video so it gets out there and more people see it. As always, handle your business, save some money, and ride safe. Appreciate you guys coming by the garage, YouTube. And